This is Jean Amore with More Than Sports. I am here with class of 2023 defensive tackle from George W. Long High School in Alabama, Jaeden Jackson. Jaeden, thank you so much for being here.
No problem. How you doing?
Good, thank you. So we're just going to get right into the questions and kind of go from there. Hopefully the internet's good and things go well. And I haven't had the best of luck with internet lately, so we'll just wing it. So you play football and baseball. So when did you realize, because you ultimately want to go to college for both of those and be a dual sport athlete, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So when did you realize that you really wanted to go to college to play football and baseball?
Well, I started out the years, like whenever I was 3, going to 4, I started playing baseball. And in first grade, about first grade, I started playing football, and I just loved playing both sports. So about 7th, 8th grade, I started realizing I want to go to college for this.
So what position do you play for baseball?
First, third, and pitch.
Oh, wow. Okay. What position's your favorite?
Ma'am?
What position is your favorite?
I like third base, but I usually play first.
Okay. And you play defensive tackle, like I said. And what's your favorite part about playing that position?
I love tearing people up. I love being the quarterback.
So you like jumping the pancakes and getting the quarterback, huh?
Yeah.
So how are you at getting sacks?
I didn't have so many this year, but I made a lot of corruptions in the backfield.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Now, how have you been working? Because you guys there in Alabama, you had a full season. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So here in Oregon, games just started a couple weeks ago. So we had a delayed season. So how have you been working to improve your game?
Working out every day and just training, getting better at my game.
Which is where you're at now.
Yes,
you're at the gym. So you're pretty serious about this, which is great. What, I know colleges have been looking at you. You do have a few offers. What offers do you have?
Florida, South Carolina, Florida, Southern University. I think that's about it.
Do you have Michigan?
Yes, Michigan.
Okay. And what are you, what does your dream college look like?
Well, it's a man riding a horse, sticks to spear, riding a 50-yard line.
So, what, as far as coaches go and things like that, what are you looking for?
Like somebody that can really push me, get on to me anytime, just push me to my hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Make me be a better person.
And what are you looking for, in an actual college? The college atmosphere and all of that.
Yeah, the environment, just good people around me.
Mm-hmm. So you like to be pushed. You like, I know your dad is pretty important. Sounds like he probably pushes you as well.
Yes,
how is that? How do you respond to that?
I just give him all I can.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
do whatever he says, anything he tells me to do, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Which is good. You're only a sophomore, and you have 2 more years to really excel. And you're already getting looks at colleges, offers. That's pretty amazing. So who's your biggest mentor?
My dad.
Your dad?
For sure.
And how is that relationship? I know sometimes it's hard, to kind of have your dad coaching you and pushing you along. It sounds like you, though, respond to that really well.
Yes.
Do you ever push back at all?
I mean, we have our arguments, yes, but we come back together.
which is typical.
Yeah.
So what is your biggest strength on and off the field?
On the field, I think like the way I pump other people up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say if I make a tackle, right? I get everybody up clapping, everything, like get up, get up, get up. And I think outside of school, it's like just doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
not getting in trouble outside of school, in school, anything like that.
And that's huge because as an athlete, I know some athletes don't want to think this, but as an athlete, you're looked up to. So it's one thing to be one way on the field, but off the field, you have to be that example. So, I think that's great that you already have that. That's kind of one thing. So tell me a little bit about how you are on the field. Like you said, how are you a leader on the field?
I just get everybody up. If somebody's not doing anything, I get on their butt. They can tell you I do anything on the field that better my people that's on the field. Because anybody that's on the field with me, I want them to be better than me. I want to push them.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So are you vocal or do you lead more by example?
Ma'am?
Are you vocal or do you lead more by example?
More by example.
Yeah. Okay. Which is great because if people can look to you and what you do and emulate that, that's a good way to be. So who is your favorite NFL team?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks. All
I've been
right.
with them since I was 6. I love when Marshawn Lynch was playing.
Yeah. I like Marshawn Lynch. And so that's kind of over my area. So I kind of like the Seahawks as well. Who's your favorite player?
Whenever Cam Chancellor was playing, I loved him.
Okay.
He
and why? What did you? Okay. So that's what you liked about him was he hit hard? What is one of your biggest fears?
Losing my parents.
Okay, that's a heavy one. Yeah, and especially because sounds like they make such a big impact on you in your life. And that's something that treat the people close to you, anybody really, with respect and love because you never know. So yeah, that's a heavy one. What's a little known fact about you?
I have a beautiful girlfriend. I'm a good person. I'm really goofy. I really am. I'm funny.
You're goofy and funny. All right. And and I'm sure people know that about you. Are you outgoing or are you more reserved?
I'm outgoing.
You're outgoing. Are you the class clown?
You can say that.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Probably math.
Math. All right. That was my worst subject. So I'm always envious when people say math because it was not mine. What are your dreams for the future?
I just want to make it big, make it out of Dothan.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put my parents in a pretty good home, just move them
Mm-hmm.
out, make sure they're safe, you know what I mean?
So what you hope to make it in the NFL or do you hope to make it in both? Okay. So who's your favorite baseball team?
Red Sox.
The Red Sox. And who's your favorite player?
David Ortiz.
David Ortiz? Isn't he Big Pappy? Uh-huh.
They called him Mr. October because he always came in clutch.
Yeah. Yeah, I like David Ortiz. He was good. So we already discussed. So who's your favorite all-time athlete in any sport?
Michael Jordan.
Why Michael Jordan?
He's so good. I love how high he can jump. I've always wanted to jump high. I always worked on jumping high and everything. and he has the energy when he's on the court. That's like me on the football field. I have the same energy as him.
Have you seen the documentary on him? The Last Dance, I think is what it's called.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, you need to watch that because it's really, really good. And it talks about how he was on and off the court and how, people thought maybe he was kind of a jerk on the field or on the court, but it's only because he wanted people to be at their best. Like you were saying, you want people on the field with you to succeed and be their best. And so, yeah, that's what it sounds like is Michael Jordan. So make sure to watch that.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember
Netflix.
how it's like huh?
Is it on Netflix?
I think so. Yeah, it's like a 10-part series or something.
Yes, ma'am.
It's amazing. I love Michael Jordan before, but I have so much respect for him. He's amazing. So make sure to watch that. Now, in your life, I know you're only a sophomore, but what's one thing that you've had to overcome?
What did you say, man?
What's one thing that you've had to overcome in your life?
About 2 years ago, I had a fractured wrist, and I had to sit out a year for football for that, and I came back. That's what I had to overcome.
And how did you deal with that? How was your mentality?
I still worked out and everything, but I couldn't do anything with my left arm. But I still worked out, ran everything, just trained throughout.
So you're hardcore.
You can say that.
What, so between football and baseball, do you have a favorite?
Ma'am,
Do you have a favorite between football or baseball, or do you love them both?
I love them both.
Okay, so if you had to choose, if a college was saying that they only wanted to take you for football and not baseball, or vice versa, what would you do?
I mean, I'd still go with football, but then again, baseball, I don't know.
You could do both. I mean, look at how many athletes, you got Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan and Tim Tebow, all these athletes that have done both. So, there's definitely people that have provided that example. So it's definitely doable. Sounds like you're just as good at baseball as you are at football.
Yeah, you can say that.
Are you getting recruited for both?
Ma'am,
Are you getting recruited for both?
not baseball.
Okay.
But I have a couple looks in baseball.
Okay. So what do you have any words of advice to young athletes that, maybe want to make it to a D1 school and eventually to the NFL? What would you say to them?
Always be yourself. Work out anytime you can. Always push yourself and just be the best you can be.
That's good advice. That's really good advice. So now this is putting you on the spot a little bit. What's one piece of advice that you've been given that really made an impact on you?
Never let go. Never let down. Always be pushing yourself the best that you can push yourself.
That's good. And who gave you that advice?
My dad.
That's what I thought. And that's really good advice. There's so many things, especially now, that go on that can distract you from your goal. So how do you stay focused personally?
Train every day. Just better my mind. Do everything right in life. And just never go to the bad ways.
And no excuses. It doesn't sound like if you train every day, it doesn't sound like you have very many excuses. And now, how do you balance all of that with school?
Ma'am?
How do you balance that with school?
After I get done working out at school, I'll come here at 6 o'clock at night and work out here until about 7 to 8 o'clock. And then I'll go get something to eat, go home, shower, time for bed.
And then, so when do you have time for homework?
Yeah.
When do you have time?
I study, yes. I study.
Okay. That's in there somewhere, right? Well, Jaeden, thank you so much for being on the show. You still have 2 more years of high school, so I really hope that we can do another interview again when you have even more offers. And I really, really look forward to seeing where you go. You know, I know that you've been invited to some camps. You're going to be going to a rivals camp as well. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So before we go, what do you think those camps provide for you? Like what do they mean for you to go and be
Better my
invited?
game. To better my game.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure to get more exposure as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's
Just going
great.
up against the best. Going up against the best is obvious. You gotta love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because how are we going to get better?
Exactly.
So, yep, that's great. Well, and I know that you're going to be invited to even more. Your class of 2023. I don't want to keep saying that, but you're still young. And I think that's great that you are already getting exposure, that your hard work is being recognized. Going to these camps do help. It does get your name out there even more. And I think that's amazing that you are already being so successful, as a sophomore. So it's just going to keep getting better from here. And I can't wait to see that happen. So absolutely. So Jaeden, again, thank you so much for being on the show. I definitely look forward to keeping in touch with you and doing another interview.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. This is Jean Amore with Then Sports.